Hi everyone, my name is Vuvu and this is Vuvu Vena Reads. If you're new here, please press the red subscribe button down below. If you are a returnee, thank you for choosing me once more. Please excuse the noise from outside. The weather is acting up, but I needed to shoot this video because I needed to come up today. So I'm just wanting to share with you my September wrap up. In September I managed to read 7 books, 2 of which I don't have physical copies to with me right now. The other one is an audiobook, so I don't have a physical copy at all. The other one I've lent to my sister. So I'm gonna show you 5 books. Yes, I'm gonna show you 5 books that I read in the month of September, and then I'll put the others as a thing somewhere here. So I did mention to you guys in my last wrap up that I wanted to do wrap up videos every end of the month, and so this is the first of me trying to do that regularly. So the books that I managed to finish in September, sorry, I'm trying to think if I'll do it in order or not. I don't think so. So I managed to finish House of Stone by Novuyo Rosa Chuma in the month of September. This is a psychological thriller based in Zimbabwe. It covers the genocide that happened just after independence in that country, and it just covers the scars that were left by that period of time, and how people hunger to belong to someone, and how Novuyo does it with this main character here. It's just something that is both unnerving and fascinating at the same time. She's really done a very good job. I enjoyed this a lot. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was my first read from Zimbabwe this year, so I really liked that. The other book that I picked up is a children's book called The Timekeeper series. This is book 1, Nandi Goes to Egypt. I've spoken a lot about this book in my Friday reads, but this is by a South African author called Sizile Ndlazi, and it follows the main character Nandi, who's a 10-year-old Zulu girl who happens to have the gift of time traveling, and her time traveling has a purpose in that it's done so that she can solve issues in different parts of Africa. So the first one goes to Egypt, and there she gets the aid of historical figures of that specific country to resolve whatever problem there is. There is a talking animal, there is a whole lot about family and gifting and purpose in this that is really quite useful for kids. I liked this. I did give it the critique that it needed a little bit more polishing in terms of grammar and that kind of stuff, so it does need to be re-edited, I feel, but it doesn't take away from the power of the story. I think she's onto something great here. I believe I also gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I also read book 1 in the Chronicles of Narnia. This is the whole collection, all 7 books, but I read The Magician's Nephew. C.S. Lewis does not need any introduction. This series does not need any introduction. It's been on my radar for quite a long time. I've had this book for years, but I hadn't gotten around to reading it. So The Magician's Nephew, I believe, was written after The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, so it's kind of like a novella. It sets you up for the rest of the series. It gives you a starting point so that the rest of it comes easily. I do understand, I think the series is not the advised chronological order of reading, is not necessarily the chronological order of publishing, so I am reading it as it's been advised to be read. So I'm starting with the let me see how it goes on here. So I did start with The Magician's Nephew. I'm now reading The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I'll follow it on with The Horse and His Boy, then Prince Caspian, then The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, then The Silver Chair, and then The Last Battle. That's how I intend to read it, and I enjoyed this. And like I'm saying, C.S. Lewis is a legend. He needs no introduction, and I'm really loving the childishness of this story as opposed to the stuff that I've been reading. So it's quite light, it's quite intense, obviously, because I do think that he draws a lot from the Bible in his lessons, but it's also quite enjoyable because of the adventure that they're on and the lessons that they're learning on this adventure. I really am loving this a lot. I gave the first book 4 out of 5 stars. It seems like it was a good reading month, actually, now that I think about it. So the other book that I said my sister has borrowed is obviously the one that you guys saw me vlog, which is Sunyati's The Polygamist. Need I say anymore? I really enjoyed reading The Polygamist. It was one of those that had been on my radar for a long time, and I wanted to read The Gold Diggers, but I thought Sue only has 2 books. She's got 3 books out now because one dropped this week if I'm not last week if I'm not mistaken. Either way, I wanted to read The Gold Diggers, and I thought to myself, okay, since she's got 2 books out, let me go buy The Polygamist, and I have not regretted a thing. I absolutely loved reading it. I loved giving my reaction while reading it to you guys, and I scored that book a good 4 out of 5 stars. I've said all I could say about the book in the vlog, so if you've missed it, I will link it up here. But that was another 4 out of 5 stars. So it was a great September. Was an absolute gem of a reading month. I then managed to pick up one that I had started during the year but couldn't finish, so I was reading along this one on Audible. This is Lou Bardugo's Wonder Woman Warbringer. I enjoyed this a lot as well. I loved the nature. If you know me, you'll know that I love stories that have to do with a quest, with an adventure, but this one had so many good things in it. It also had the element of obviously gifts as an of a magical nature. It had the whole idea of heroes and female heroes at that. It also had to do with family, betrayal, all the scandals that make for a juicy story. And obviously, like I'm saying, there was a quest that they were on, which made it quite intriguing for me. I enjoyed all the themes that Lee Bardugo managed to uncover in this one. And obviously it does leave you, I don't know why I'm saying obviously so much today, sorry guys, it does leave you wanting more out of the Wonder Woman story. And I love the fact that it also has a lot to do with a person forming their own way. You know, as human beings, I do think that especially as societal beings, we belong to so many people before we belong to ourselves. And I think that in this story, she has made her main character carve out her own truth and find out her own way. Even if you go back to your people afterwards, as long as you have gotten to a point where you understand why certain things are in place and who you are, independent of all of these forms of community that might be around you. And I think she explores that very well. I loved this one a lot. It's another 4 out of 5 stars. That's just how it's been going. I don't know. Then on Instagram, I did ask people to recommend a romance that I could listen to on Audible, because I haven't gotten into that genre as much as I see that it's a genre that started to pick up recently, or I'm seeing a lot of it, especially this year. So I hadn't gotten into it, and I didn't want to diss what I didn't know. So somebody recommended The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. Anyway, by Beth, and I absolutely loved that. I loved that book so much that I am tempted to look for more romances based in Ireland, because I don't know if that's what it was. But also I think that I loved how it was told from both perspectives, and so was the, what do you call this, the narration was from both perspectives as well. I loved these characters. They were light, they were simple, they were flawed, they were genuine, they were just perfect. And one of the things that I took out of that was that these flawed individuals didn't have to give up anything of themselves in order to fall in love. And I think that is a beautiful message to have in a book, especially a romance book. And I gave that one another 4 out of 5 stars. Forgive me guys, like I'm saying, it is a 4 out of 5 month. And the last book that I read in September, I almost called a different date, was Hlomo the Wife by Busani-Dube. I am buddy reading this with Bookish Nontli and Bokomuso. I will link their BookTube channels down below. If you're not already following them, please do the right thing and follow them. So we're reading the series together. We are starting book 2 this month, sorry, book 2 this month. So this is book 1 in her series. She's also just released her 4th book in this series. I want to say it was at the start of this month as well, or at the end of last month. I could be confusing it, but this, after you get over the hurdle of the grammar, is a brilliant story that's being told. I don't know whether to classify it as a romance or as a crime. I don't think it's a thriller. There's a lot going on here that I think, for her to have imagined the setting and the family that she gives us here and still kept them and their characteristics real in her head as she's telling us the story, is something phenomenal. And it's difficult even for the reader to keep remembering who's who, but she's also given these people such great characteristics that obviously you can easily tell even when you think that you don't know what character is which. Yeah, Dudu's done something very great with the Hlomu series. Like I'm saying, once you get over the hurdle of the bad grammar and learn to fall in love with the story, it is definitely one that is worth falling in love with. And that brings to 7 the number of books that I read in the month of September. Hlomu is also a 4 out of 5, so it was a 4 out of 5 month. Seemingly I was very generous and I was very happy in the month of September. I truly enjoyed each and every one of those books, and I would definitely recommend them all for the reasons that I've already stated as to why I enjoyed them this month. So as a mood reader, I often wonder to myself if my rating system is alright, but I rate according to how the book made me feel. And so if you are more of a technical rater, then it might be a different process for you. However, I don't regret my ratings ever. So these are some of the books that will genuinely stay as my pearls next to my, not next to my bed, I need to reduce the books next to my bed, but I will definitely always point them out on my shelf as books that I always enjoyed. So without any further ado and without wasting your guys' time, thank you so very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and until next time, I love you very, very much for choosing me. Bye.